You better tell them or I will. You better tell them. We gon' talk about wrong, right, death, life. Talk about anything you like, you better tell them or I will. You better tell them or I will. You better tell them. We gon' talk about broke, rich, real life-ish. Speaking like this, I can't miss. You better tell them or I will. You better tell them or I will. You better tell them. We gon' talk about the old, young, smart, dumb. Let me show you where I'm coming from. You better tell them or I will. You better tell them.
Yes, sir. We back one more again, man. I sure hope y'all miss me like I miss y'all. You better tell them or I will. I got a good friend that flew in from Georgia and born and raised in Chicago. Just accomplished 75 years of walking this here thing called life. And we going to get some jewels out of him. You better tell them or I will. What's up, Jess?
What's up, Sean? How you doing,
man, I am good, brother. And thank you for flying out. So a little backstory real quick. I met Jess 16 years ago, and we clicked immediately. Learned a lot from him. Sometimes we could get stuck on the phone for hours at a time. Jess allowed me to sell his condo as my first real estate transaction when I got licensed as a realtor. He is a professor, teacher, retired teacher, retired veteran. So on and so forth. Hell of a story. 75 years. So listen close, get your notepads, man. So Jess, we don't have a lot of time, but we're going to take our time. 75 years, brother.
75 years.
75 years. Take us back to Chicago. Born in Chicago. Give us a little bit about what it was and what it was like. We're going to try to accomplish 7 decades in a couple of minutes. Go ahead.
75 years ago.
Yeah.
I can remember the projects.
Okay.
2710 South State Street. Apartment 405. And my mother, father, and my sister in that apartment. And one of my greatest memories is when I had my first kiss. Her name was Jane.
Go ahead.
And we were, I had to be, so I'm about 5.
Oh, damn.
And we're going to church, and I'm, mom and dad's got me all dressed up to go to church. And I walked out the apartment first, and I'm in the hallway, and this girl walks up to me, and she walked over to me, and she placed a kiss on me. And she, and then her mom said something, and I was sprung ever since.
Word up, man, at 5. Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's really one of my earliest memories. And then there are others, but the projects was an eye-opener for me as far as violence. So I saw violence very early. It wasn't shooting, but it was certainly physical. And at 5, you needed to be able to walk around the playground and know that you would fight.
Would fight. Not a question. It's happening at some point.
Yeah, and you knew that if you would fight, that you got a chance to, survive. If you shunned away from it, and I don't mean shunned away, but I mean, but if you rejected the idea of even attempting to defend yourself, life was going to be difficult at a young age.
Wow. Now, so you're 5, first kiss in the projects. Did your family ever move out of the projects?
So my parents were upward mobile.
Okay.
Meaning we moved a lot. By the time I was in 6th grade, let's say 6th grade, I probably would have moved 5 times.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we would move. We moved maybe 3 or 4 times, but I attended different schools. But there was a lot of movement to get to a better place, and eventually they bought their first house.
Wow. Okay. Now, where was that house located?
That's on 71st and Harvard.
Okay. Now, is this Because I know
This
of
is true.
Chicago through Common. Shout out to Common. Is this South Side, West Side, North Side?
So this is interesting. The location of 71st and Harvard is right off of 71st Street, area where Jennifer Hudson lives.
Okay.
Would have been right off of 71st Street.
Shout out to Jennifer. Go ahead.
Muddy Waters shop was right on 71st Street.
Word.
Yeah. So, yeah, but it was 71st and Harvard, which difficult, but we weren't there long, 3 years, and then we moved to 72nd and Emerald, which is right off of Halsted. And I'm about 10 then.
Okay.
And from 10 to 18, I go to Parker High School and then to Calumet. And Calumet realized that I was a fake and a phony, and they kicked me out because all I wanted to do was play baseball and smoke weed. And they said, so
Understood.
yeah, so they kicked me out, sent me back to Parker, and then after that, here's the interesting thing.
Go ahead.
My best friend goes to college. My girlfriend, she's going to graduate and go to college, and I had to make a determination. What am I going to do? And I decide, okay, I want to go to college. But the thing was, my grades didn't warrant me going to college.
Scholarship or none of that. All that
No
was out
scholarship.
the-
Yeah,
out
because
the window.
I blown all of that in weed and alcohol.
Okay.
So, but I meet a guy coming home from school one day, and he asked me if I wanted to go to school, and I said, "Yeah, Mr. Johnson."
Right on.
And he gave me this information to go to this, these schools, these HBCUs.
Okay. Historically black college universities.
Wiley College in Marshall, Texas, accepted me on a probationary.
You got to show and prove.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I go down there. I get accepted. I go down there, and I have the time of my life.
Okay.
Oh man! Hey, send your if you want to go to school, get away from mom and dad.
Right on.
Go somewhere where you can actually find yourself, and that's what happened.
Okay.
I went down to Marshall, Texas, and my first semester was so bad they told me, "You get one more chance."
Wait. Hold. Okay. It was so bad
My grades were so bad.
because you was having the time of your life.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm on
Okay.
academic probation.
Okay.
After that first semester, and they said if I'm on academic probation, after that,
You got to go back home. And you didn't want to go back home.
didn't go back
So you dialed it in.
I doubted.
Okay.
I doubted it. I doubted it.
Right on.
And I took on a different persona. But what's so interesting about that, I didn't believe, and I don't know why I didn't believe that I was capable of academic excellence. And I'm not saying that I was academically excellent at Wiley.
But the seed was planted, or the building of excellence began.
So I got to go back a little bit.
Go ahead,
I got to
share.
go back to
You better tell them, or I will.
Mrs. Booker. At 12 years old, and I'm finally I'm finally found out that I've been moving to all of these different schools that I'm not academically prepared to move on to the 6th grade.
Okay.
And so my Sunday school teacher said, everybody that, Sunday school at the end of the school year, and everybody raise your hand if you passed, and my hand is down. And she was surprised, and because I got church literature.
Right.
We did that. In Sunday school, I'm somewhat scholarly.
Right.
I want to say that because that's what we did at home.
Right. Okay.
So she asked me if she could tutor me.
Okay.
And I knew that I had to say yes, because if she asked me or spoke with my parents and I said no, that was going to be a problem.
Right.
So
Okay.
I agreed, and I went from being a failure, as I thought. I didn't think that I was academically capable, to really excelling beyond high school and with my grades. And so
Okay.
they wouldn't move me up, but they put me in accelerated classes. So here's the deal.
Go ahead.
Holding me back put me in touch with my very, very best friend that I know today. We've been road dogs ever since. So, I don't know the scheme of things, but it gave me the knowledge that I was academically capable, but it also put me in touch with my best friends. What happened was, I didn't know how to earn academics. I lived off my ability of my smarts. I didn't grow my smarts. I just lived on being smart.
Okay.
Until it was exhausted. The work was beyond what I knew, and I couldn't fake it anymore. So then college said, that might have been good back then.
Okay.
But that don't play here.
Right. I did.
You're going to have to do some work.
Okay.
And that's when I became academic. But I didn't do that in high school. I went into high school knowing that I was academically capable. I just didn't know, I didn't have a work ethic.
Right. Okay. I understand that.
College said, you need a work ethic.
Either develop one or you're going back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get a work ethic.
Right on.
You get a study. Actually, once I graduated from college, I looked at my niece. She had a magnificent work. I said, my God, look at. And so when I started my master's program, she was my influence. I looked at how she went. Yes.
And that now, when you graduated from Wiley, how soon after that, or how long after that, did you go for the master's degree?
So I went immediately.
Immediately, okay.
Because I went back to Chicago. I couldn't get a job after several efforts here and there. And I said, well, I'm going to go back to school. And I went to Governor State University. And then from Governor State, and I was in their master's program, film, photography, mass media. I learned film, 35 millimeter film. And then, they told me you need to get out of here and get some work experience.
Okay. Now, after the master's degree, when did your military service come in?
So after that came because I couldn't get a job.
Okay.
It came because I was exhausted with school. Here's what happened with school. Governor State University, I'm in the film department, and I'm faced with some racist situations. Okay. But that's not the emphasis of this. What happened was my professor had a photographic contest. He was going to get so many, I think it's 12 photos for a permanent collection. I'm his graduate assistant, but I've already had my stuff stolen, my cameras, all my.
Wow.
And so what happens was, as his graduate assistant, my job was to set up the dark room, do a little basic film stuff, how to use the dark room, what have you. But what it gave me was an opportunity to work independently on being a better photographer, better black and white technician, film technician. So I'm in the dark room every day. Every day, and my skill level really got
better. What is a dark room for the younger audience that's watching here?
Okay, so a dark room is a room where black and white film or color film is developed and processed. So it's a normally a three-stage process, and a film is put in a container. The solution, once that solution is processed, and then you go through fixing it, stopping it, and then you fix it. And then that roll of 35 millimeter film is then put into an enlarger, and then that enlarger exposes that negative to paper, and that paper then processed. You have a black and white picture.
Photo. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you learn that, master that.
I learned it and mastered it. And one day, so he tells me, I'm not saying his name,
right,
but he tells me that he's going to have this contest and that I should enter, and I did. And so my thing was, what am I going to shoot? I'm Chicago. I'm thinking I could go downtown and shoot these different things. But I knew that wasn't going to get it because everybody could do that. So it was very snowy. The snow drifts in Chicago at that time. But the interesting thing about that was I saw a drift that was white on one side and black on the other.
Word.
Yes, the black is from the dust, the dirt,
the grime and all that.
Yes. So I got this, and so I'm in the dark room. So I shoot it, and I'm in the dark room, and I'm thinking, okay, and I'm looking at it, and then something said, flip the negative.
Word.
So I exposed one side, flipped the negative, exposed the other side, and then when I printed it, I said, oh my God.
Yes, sir.
Look at it.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Yeah.
I knew it was a winner.
Word up.
I knew it was so unique. It was a woman's vagina.
In the photo.
It was I mean, if you just look
definitely unique.
It was, and everybody, well, okay.
Yeah.
So the deal was, you didn't put your name on it.
Okay.
You put your name on the back of it.
Okay.
So all that was seen was the photo. Nobody knows who shoots this.
Okay.
So they just picked the photos that they wanted for this permanent collection, and mine made it.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the good story.
That's the good story, okay.
Here's the bad part. Oh, yeah. So he says, great job, Jess. We're going to take this. I need 12 copies. Okay. I make the 12 copies. And my father one day.
Damn.
Yeah, my father one day didn't like the way I was living in his apartment. And he came in and he threw all my stuff out into the snow. So those 12 copies were ruined. Right?
And not one survived the collection.
But that's the aftermath. This was really the destroyer.
Okay.
After I make that initial copy, I have to develop this film that I've copied. Right, I've copied this, and I go over to my cousin's house. I fix me a drink. Smoke me a joint.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
I'm mixing. And before you know it, I forgot I got the stuff in the developer.
Come on, Jess.
Yeah, well, that's it. I don't need to say anymore.
Okay.
I will. You better tell him, or I will. You better tell him. We gon' have a deep conversation, probably reach across the nation. I'm getting to the point, be patient. Tell him, or I will. You better tell him, or I will. You better tell him. Yeah. You are now tuned in to the #1 podcast on the internet. Sean P. You better tell him.